Round one, we're on the play. Going to play first. 2 mana, 2 drop that can block. Yeah, we gotta keep this hand. This hand has a lot of potential. And if stuff gets crazy, I'm hoping the Cataclysmic Gearhulk could do a board wipe at some point. All right. Make the trade. Hawk would have been pretty good with Companion, admittedly. Pima Outrider's good too. All right, making it a 4/4. Well, I guess that's pretty cool. Can kill this. Granted, it costs all of our energy, but seems worth it. Seems worth. So we'll start her off with the Artisan and make the servo. Imperial Voyager. Yeah, it's pretty good. So I can play the Mechanic to bounce the Artisan. I can play the Chief. Those are pretty much my only options. So if I play the Mechanic to bounce the Artisan, I can replay it as a 3/3 or get another servo to set up for Chief. It doesn't seem great. I think we'll just play the Chief. All right. I mean, guess I could have buffed the servo as well. All right, so I guess we can get some mechanic value. All right, that's actually a pretty awesome draw. Do I want to let my opponent untap? Well, making them pay to protect it on their turn could be better. Although we know Disappearing Act is a double blue. Not that that's like a commonly played card. And I don't know what my opponent's splash color is yet. Feels like it might be. I actually don't know. I mean, they're just a healthy mix of 3 color right now. Let's wait until our opponent's turn. So it'll make them use mana on their turn. Or if they tap out here, I'll just use it. Okay. So my opponent would have been able to do that unless it was the card they drew that turn. But I would have taken 2 less damage. So now that I know they have Blossoming Defense, I will use it on my turn. Okay. So it looks like we're just dead now, so I guess I don't have to show them any more cards. Wonder why he pumped it so much. All right, let's see here. Game 2. So, I guess we don't have too much in terms of sideboarding anyway, but why don't we just run it back and try it again? Seems like a match we should be able to do. I mean, we ended with 3 mana, and we're actually doing a decent job, so let's try it again. would like to play first. Let's mulligan that one. This one will keep. So I think we just want to play this skiff first. And if we draw the third land, we get to go chief and swing for 3 in the air, which is pretty nice. Otherwise, we can use the companion to crew as well, which is fine. So we're going to bottom any non-land because we are hunting for lands at the moment. All right, let's play the chief. Activate the skiff. And get in for 3. Okay, so now we can play the companion. Ooh, can play a puzzle knot too. Companion's probably better. So we'll play companion. Activate skiff. And swing for 5. Okay. Pretty surprised he's attacking there. Would have kept my skiff at bay. So I guess we play the hawk. Crew the skiff. And bash for 5. Okay, so we can play the puzzle knot. We can maneuver the hawk. Kind of need to draw land. So maybe just maneuver now. Because I don't feel like puzzle knot does a lot here. Shield guard would be good. Let's just maneuver and see if we can't draw land here. All right, so my opponent left up Blossoming Defense. That's a good enough sign to me that they probably have it, especially since I can at least smash back with Sky Skiff. So let's, I guess, play Artisan and make a servo. And we'll keep the servo back to block the Cobra. Hawk can't really block anything too profitably anyway, so I guess I can use the Hawk to smash with the Companion in the air, but then my opponent could eat the Hawk, but I guess they can't super afford to take 5. Maybe they can. Let's just smash with a Skiff here. I guess the problem is my opponent can use the defense defensively. That complicates things. And the problem is, I don't have a good block for Outrider either. Yeah, it seems like they have defense. I guess I don't really want to trade my Skiff for a defense right now. I mean, I might have to, but... Alright. I don't have to, but... I don't know what I can do about the defense. It feels like it's going to be pretty easy for my opponent to just leave up 1 mana. Especially if they're already ahead on the board, which they are. So I probably have to block with Companion and Artificer on Outrider if my opponent uses the Blossoming Defense to kill the Skiff with the Windrake. Looks like they're not interested. Either that or they are legitimately just bluffing, which is certainly an option. So I can take the 4 here, or I can double block. If my opponent has the defense... But why are they not attacking with the flyers? So that tells me they fear, like, a Hawk, Sky Skiff, Companion attack. Can I afford to take... They also have the Cloud Blazer too, though? Seems kind of crazy to me that they... Can I afford to take 4 here? If I do 3, 5, 7 in the air, and I can't even get past the Windrake, what are my outs? Like, what are some things I can draw? I could draw Goggles. I could draw Subtle Strike. I can draw Die Young. I can draw Sky Whaler's Shot. It may actually make sense to double block here. I know it seems crazy, but if my opponent has the defense, even if I were to draw an out, I can't. I basically have to trade my removal for their Like this way, if I feel like this kind of proves if they have it or not. And if they play it, at least makes my outs do something. And I still might be able to double block a Sky Skiff and a Hawk on a 3/3 Windrake. And if I draw a mana, I could maybe double block the Shield Guard and the Servo on Outrider next turn. So I kind of feel like it's in my best interest to find out if my opponent has the defense. I guess I could have blocked Companion, Servo, and I would have taken 1 trample damage. That might have been better. Yeah, probably would have been better, I guess. I just assumed the Servo is going to trade with the Cobra anyway. But, okay, so my opponent did have it. Like, I'm not exactly sure what I could do, but like I said, it's so simple to leave up 1 mana for such a powerful effect that I'm not exactly sure what I could have done about that anyway. So let's play the Shield Guard now. And pass. Once again, I'm very confused why my opponent didn't attack with at least one of the flyers. I'm confused about that. So yes, I could have had my 2/2 and be at 11 life instead, which would be better on this board. Not a ton better, but certainly better. All right. Well, let's trade the Shield Guard. So I guess I could have offered the Skiff and the Artisan if I had done the different block last turn. I'm not sure that would have been better, though. Okay, so let's play our Harrier now. Let's get some more. Although the Mastodon, yeah, I guess Mastodon keeps the Tiger at bay. Well, it doesn't really. It kind of keeps the Tiger at bay. I can basically trade a Mastodon for a Tiger and just so block with the Mastodon and the Skiff. I guess I can do that. Okay. And if my opponent chooses to get rid of the Skiff so they can get in with the Flyers, I can still play the Harrier to keep the Flyers at bay. So, I mean, even attempting to fly over top with the Mastodon, even with Vigilance and the Hawk, I don't think is going to work too well. I'm pretty thankful my opponent's not getting more aggressive here. I think we would be either dead or at a lot less life total if our opponent was just being more aggressive. So let's activate the Skiff, and we're going to block with the Mastodon and the Skiff. I don't really feel like I can afford to take 6 damage with the amount of flyers my opponent has. So I think we have to trade our 4/5 for the 6/6. And granted, it is only a temporary 6/6, but like I said, I don't know if I can really afford to take that damage. So we can play the Harrier now, and I feel like that keeps a lot of opponent stuff at bay. Yeah, the Freighter's going to be a problem. I guess I might just have to take the Freighter and conclusion it next turn. I guess we can crew off of it. All right, I guess we're going to double block the Windrake. Can also triple block the Freighter. But I end up losing both my flyers. This way I basically trade a 2/3 for a 3/3. Okay, Gearhall can't quite play it. So I guess we're going to tidy conclusion, but we're only going to gain 1 life. But I'm not... I don't think that I can afford to wait another turn. As nice as it would be to just puzzle knot twice and then, or just once in conclusion, get the extra 2 life. No attacks and pass. That's interesting, not attacking with the Freighter. So, okay. Well, that just means we block like this and like this, and then I guess kill the Cloud Blazer. Okay, so we play the Gearhulk, kill the Windrake. And then my opponent can't crew the freighter until they draw a creature, but even if they do, I guess I just trade a Gear Hulk for a freighter. Although, I guess I don't even have to do that, do I? Because I can afford to take 5, 6 damage now if I'm gaining life, yeah. So I think we're getting in with the Hawk, and then we're actually lethal next turn. I'm a little bit confused why my opponent did not activate the freighter. That tells me they anticipated the removal, but I still don't know if that's better. Okay, opponent thought about that for a long time. I'm not sure what there was to think about. But we'll take out the Hawk, we'll gain the life, we'll get in with our, or we'll take out the Drake, get in with our Hawk. Like I said, the freighter can't be crewed, and even if it could, opponent's got to draw something pretty hot here. I guess another Windrake's pretty good. So if I make this trade, wait, my opponent's gonna die. Yeah, never mind. We take 5 and then we kill our opponent. So now we just swing with the Hawk and the Gear Hulk. And I don't even need to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway. And that is lethal. Okay. Cool. That was a close game. We were really behind for a long time there. Our opponent easily could have put us away had they been just infinitely more aggressive with flyers, so I'm very thankful that they weren't. A lot of Windrakes in there, 3 that we've seen, and a Cloud Blazer, so quite a few evasive things. I don't think we have much for that, though. We just really don't have much of a sideboard in general, so I guess in case of like hyper aggro, maybe a Dromedary, but opponent has way too much evasion to consider that. Pressure point is not really what I'm looking for here either. Refurbish is actually okay because our opponent has a lot of removal, and we did have quite a few artifacts in our graveyard there, so Refurbish is something I can consider. But I'm not 100% sure over what. So I think we'll leave it for now. All right, final game of the match here. I imagine our opponent will play first. All right, ooh, this is a good hand. We're going to have a turn 2, 3, 4, which is nice. Well, our opponent never officially disconnected from the match, but they just let the last 5 minutes of their timer wear down. And then the odd thing was they actually conceded 2 seconds before the game ended, and then they still drew their next card too. So I really don't know what was going on there. Very strange. But we will take the win, definitely. So we'll see you round 2.